guys, welcome back, and here's another series of traveling with me virtually, of course. So this time it's about Sharjah. Sharjah is the third emirate of UAE. It is touted to be the cultural capital of UAE. Some might even say Middle East. It is bordering between Dubai, which is the awesome emirate that in all the previous video that I showed, as well as Ajman, which is the other emirate. Just like looking right off the bat in this video, you see that it is so much different from Dubai in terms of the architecture, the infrastructure, and a lot of other things. So Sharjah is also home to some of the largest skyscrapers, residential skyscrapers. Of course, the Burj Khalifa is still the home. Its home is still in Dubai, and a lot of skyscrapers that we did see in the previous video, tagging along Sheikh Zayed Road. But I mean, just looking at it, it is like home to some of the residential skyscrapers and also some of the densest traffic ever. So one reason Sharjah is extremely popular is because of its relatively cheaper rents. Notice how I emphasized on relative, because of late, as Dubai has become more commercialized, more people are finding it very expensive, or I must say insanely expensive. Obviously, a lot of tourists like to see it, but as far as residents are concerned, it's still really difficult, to make ends meet sometimes because of the crazy rents and normal adult stuff. So one reason Sharjah's become extremely popular over in the 2010s was because a lot of people were moving to Sharjah because of the cheaper rent and a lot of other cheaper stuff. Earlier, Sharjah, it was also one of the emirate where stuff was really cheap. Like, it was the trade center. It's actually like hub to some of the ports. So whatever was in Deira was also in Sharjah, because of the difference. It is much cheaper. Like, the stuff is much cheaper here. But also, many people hesitate to go to Sharjah because the infrastructure is so poor there, especially the transportation infrastructure and all that. That's the reason it's not as glamorous and glitzy as Dubai is. Sharjah is also a bit on the stricter with Islamic laws, while Dubai is more modern. So again, because it's the cultural capital of UAE, it likes to be a little more strict on the Islamic laws. It's also home to some of the awesome, iconic mosques, visually extremely spellbound, and also some of the insane roundabouts with signals, which is extremely redundant to me, but you know what? Whatever. That's what it is, and that's Sharjah for you guys. So so coming to this video, Sharjah is home to some of the awesome malls as well. Four, I might add, which is Sahara, Ansar, City Center, as well as Mega Mall, which is my favorite mall because I lived right behind it. I lived in Sharjah for a couple of years, basically the end of my high school, as well as during my college engineering days. So yeah, I absolutely learned to hate Sharjah, and after that I really loved Sharjah. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship with it. One reason why I really don't like Sharjah is because, one, the traffic, and also the distance. Although Sharjah is just a 20-minute ride to Dubai, which is Deira, because of the insane traffic, it is at least 1 to 3 hours away. I know, right? I mean, that's insane. So this is where I live. This place. This is Al Qasimiya. Qasimiya from the throat. So this is where I lived, and it's an awesome place. Like I said, I lived on the 6th floor, which is the parking structure included. So it's actually the 3rd floor. So when you count the parking structure, it's actually the 6th floor. As a person who lived in a very low structure like this building right there, going right off to the 6th floor was really scary, especially the elevators. They go all the way to the 22nd floor, to the 50th floor, to the 100th floor sometimes. It's insane coming from Dubai, but over the time I learned to embrace it. Now here you don't see much parking structures. We call it the kacha parking, because there's like sand and then people just park in there for people who don't want to pay in the parking structure, because it's free at the end of the day. So yeah, this is a very famous restaurant called the Steakhouse. and people just really love the dishes. It's also a really huge catering company. Yeah, so this particular place is home to one of the biggest mall. Not as big as Dubai Mall, of course. Dubai Mall was built much later, but the earlier days, which was city center, this mall was very iconic, and a lot of people from Dubai came to see Mega Mall. It is mega, and I can tell you that this mall is so much better than the malls here in the US. But home is home. I might be a little biased, but it is really, really awesome. So you get off the Etihad Road or the Al Wada Road. It's off Etihad Road, but you have to go to Al Wada Road, which is also really, really narrow. So another thing that Sharjah is home to a lot of traffic from people coming from Dubai or back and forth is because the roads are really narrow. It's really old, especially the layout. They are building flyovers like this one you might see here, but it's just a 3-lane road. And when you see in Bar Dubai and Deira, most of the residential roads are 4 lanes, which is much wider, like more spaced out, so traffic isn't much of a problem. But here it is. It's really, really, really a really, really bad problem, and I can't emphasize how bad it is. And any time of the day, like the only time it's actually free would be early mornings, on a weekend. Even if I had to go to school or college, I used to get up at 5:30, and my bus used to come around 5:30, 5:45, for me to get to school at 7:30. That's how bad it is, and it moves in such a snail pace. It's super slow, and kind of embraced that chaos till now. So that's the reason why I get up really early, because my school days and my college days is to get up really early. So yeah, so it's kind of in my DNA right now. But that's one of the reasons. But people don't really complain about it right now, because there's nothing much you can do. Because the roads are the roads, and it's up to the ruler to like actually demolish and all that stuff. And in terms of modernizing, there's not a lot of tourists that do come to Sharjah. I mean, they do come there, but not as much as Dubai, because Dubai is centered around it. It's more liberal, whereas Sharjah isn't. So it's kind of a catch-22 situation. So yeah, so this is Mega Mall right here, and it is. I can't tell you how much I love this mall. Fun fact, I mean, I don't think it's that fun, is that it actually had a fire a few years ago, and part of it was fully burnt, and then they had to rebuild it again, and then it was a huge renovation project. And yeah, just look at the mall, guys. It's so amazing. So the malls here in US are more like wider. I don't really see more than one level, especially talking about the Westfield malls and stuff. I haven't been to some of the huger malls like Mall of America, which is in Minnesota, so I mean, I haven't been there, so I can't really compare. But just in general, they're like more levels. It's more taller compared to the structures here in the US, where it's more wider. For example, Great Mall, where the place where I live by, or Westfield Valley Fair Mall, they're all wider, but here it's more taller. I mean, I'm going on and on about it, but here it's home to most of the really, really expensive retail chains like Chili's. I know Chili's is kind of the high-end retail over there, whereas here it's not so much. But yeah, there's like elevators, escalators, really cool structures. There's like a roller coaster right in the mall, right there. I know it's crazy. So everything packed in one. So again, the culture of the people in UAE is like, malls are usually the place where they chill and they hang out. One, because it's really hot outside, so you can't really like go outside and play stuff. But you just hang out in the mall, cool yourself down with the AC, just shop. And even if you want to walk, you just do a mall stroll. Supermarkets are all in there. They're all 24 hours, so people can go any time of the day, to pick up groceries or just shop in general. So that's how the culture is. So that's why malls are really embedded in the UAE culture. So anytime you want to hang out, people suggest mall instead of a park or some other place. One, because of the weather, and because of the other reasons. And also it's really cool to hang out in a mall, like hey, let's go to the mall, kind of like how people were in the 80s, I guess. I'm not sure. Let me know down in the comments. where you guys prefer to hang out. So yeah, so that's Mega Mall for you. Sharjah is also home to Gold Souk. I mean, gold and UAE are kind of like synonyms. Pretty much they kind of like to show off the jewelry and like the gold, and that's pretty much rooted in the culture. So it Gold Souk is actually in Rolla Square. So Rolla Square is right in the center of Sharjah. Sharjah is also a really small emirate in terms of the residential area. Dubai is a little bit bigger in terms of the area. You have Deira, Dubai, Karama, all the other things, and they're constantly expanding it. Some of the parts are even expanded all the way to Abu Dhabi, But Sharjah is extremely like concentrated and dense right in the middle where we stay. So yeah, so again, another thing is that some of the residential towers that you see right here, they were built really long ago. They're not like new compared to Dubai. They were like in the early 2000s and stuff. So people who used to travel, like some of my friends used to travel from Sharjah to Dubai, they used to tell that we have had skyscrapers really long ago. This is another iconic mosque called the Saudi Mosque. Again, Sharjah is more inclined to Islamic laws, towards Saudi, whereas Dubai is a little bit more generic and little bit more liberal. So they have a lot of iconic mosques like the Saudi Mosque right here. So here is Rolla Square. Rolla Square is a huge park. Right on the right side you find the Saudi Mosque, and you can pretty much get a glimpse of Sharjah. So this is Rolla Square. Rolla Square. So yeah, this is Rolla Square. Rolla Square is home to Gold Souk, which is synonym for like Sharjah, Dubai. I guess the whole culture is crazy about gold. So you find many shops over here, although not as impressive as their Gold Souk, which was shown in the first video, but most of the shops were closed. I apologize for it. It is impressive in its own in its own way. So you find all these gold shops over there, yeah, you find gold, diamond, silver, all these shops. That's how it is. I was kind of feeling sad that I couldn't take any footage of Gold Souk, because it's really rooted in the culture, and people who are from Dubai are really proud to show this, because this is one of the most culturally rooted things that is engraved in everyone's mind. From Indian jewelry to Bahrain jewelry to like Arabic design, you find it all over here. So it really depends on your preference, what you prefer. But yeah, in terms of area, Dubai Gold Souk to India is more wider. It has more like more retailers, more businesses operating over there, and more density with respect to people coming in there, shopping and whatnot. So yeah, this is how you get a feel for it. Most of the gold is all out and about in display, in all its glory and in all its might. So you can really enjoy a really good view here. The gold prices obviously is the same. It's not like just because it's in Sharjah it's a little cheaper. It's not really the case. But in terms of like variety and stuff like that, Dubai is a better place. But it's something that Sharjah also has. Kind of like I wouldn't say Sharjah is kind of like the knockout version of Dubai, but I know it might feel like I'm roasting Sharjah like a lot here, but it is home for me. But the one thing that really frustrates me is the traffic. It's really annoying, and it's really bad, you guys. I can't emphasize it. But during the nighttime, it gets really better around after 10, where most of the people are almost home, yeah, so it's little better to drive, but some might say it's not so much, because on a weekend or something like that it still gets really bad. So yeah, hopefully you like this video. If you did, do comment down what parts did you like, which parts did you like, whether it's better than Dubai and all that stuff. I still love Sharjah, but I have a love-hate relationship. I don't live there anymore, but it is home. So yeah, hopefully you like this video. Do subscribe. I worked really hard on this to find footage and stuff like that, so do subscribe. Let me know what videos I can cover, and that is all, y'all. See you later in another video. Bye.